Hey guys, welcome back to Benji. So today is the review for Walking Dead issue 191. Not issue 191, 192, sorry. It's the final issue of the 4th compendium, and it's a video that I didn't want to make, but I have to. Once again, this will be on my computer screen. I don't unfortunately have the issue in my hands because I don't have the cash to get to the issue today. I'll have to wait until mid during the month. But last issue was a brilliant issue. We got the "We are not the Walking Dead" speech. Rick Grimes, his ego has was as big as it ever was, and Sebastian Milton, aka as I call him, New Joffrey, as some of you may know, shot Rick Grimes in the chest and said to him, "What did you do?" People have been speculating for over the past month that Rick Grimes is going to die, Rick Grimes is going to live. In this issue we find out the truth. This is my first time reading it, and this is the issue that I've prayed for but wished that never came. But let's get straight into it. Previously, Governor Milton ordered her soldiers to attack Rick and his followers, but Rick wasn't looking for a fight. He gave an impassioned speech to make sure that the progress that they'd make as a community wasn't squandered by another pointless war. Milton was imprisoned by Mercer, and the legend of Rick Grimes grew, but he returned home to get some sleep when an unexpected visitor arrived. Sebastian Milton. Then Sebastian shot Rick. The first page consists of the fired gun, Rick's asking, he's clutching on to life, he's saying what, and Sebastian's saying he's sorry he didn't want to do it. And then, from what I'm seeing here, he shoots him 3 more times to confirm the kill. Rick's just in pain on his bed. Sebastian drops the gun and runs. Rick Grimes is dead. It just shows you him laying on his bed and a giant page spread of him on his bed. I am not even joking. That is a dead Rick Grimes, and everyone was saying that he was dead, and I refused to believe that, but from the next 4 panels, it's like he stayed in the exact same place until the morning, so he's just dead. But then we wake up the next morning, we come to Carl the next morning. He's getting out of bed, he's dressed and ready. Jesus says, "Did you sleep well?" Carl's like, "Yeah, sure did." And they're looking really happy without knowing the truth. Jesus says there's a nice place with the best pancakes, and Carl's like, "You have me at pancakes, I'll go see if Rick's okay." He makes his way over to Carl's apartment. The door was already open, he's shocked, and there he is, a zombified Rick Grimes. Takes up nearly a whole page, but Rick had turned overnight. He's covered in blood. Carl is just shocked. Rick slowly makes his way towards him. Bang. Carl had put Rick down and shot him in the head. But no words have been said for Carl. He starts to cry and just falls to the floor. And everyone's just like, "Quick, get him out." Everyone's like, "Okay, let's go see. Just send for a guard." He's like, "Oh God, find Mercer. Find Mercer." Mercer comes to the scene. He's like, "Jesus, I think I know whose gun this is." So, Sebastian, he's fucked. So obviously Mercer confirms that yes, Carl is his son. Send for Michonne. She'll know what to do. Carl is just in shock. He hasn't said an entire word. But then we cut to him and Michonne just sitting in an office, or I'm assuming it's Michonne's office. I didn't even see him. I just saw the dead. I reacted by the time he was on the ground. I realised it was what I'd done. when I was a kid, when we were alone in a house just after we escaped the prison, I remember I thought he was dead. I was so scared of being alone, and I hesitated. Like, I thought dying would be better than living without him. Today was different, but I'm still scared of being alone. And that is a great callback to issue 50, where he did think he was dead for a little bit. Like, issue 50 was the biggest stepping stone for Carl as a character. Rick was incapacitated, or he was out for the count. He was sleeping. He thought he was dead. Carl survived on his own for a little bit, and he just couldn't do it. And at the time, he was only 8 years old. This, he's 14, so it's been quite a while since everything. And then Carl's just like, he keeps thinking if he'd have stayed with him, he'd be alive. And I guess that he's going through all the stages of grief. It's realization, and then just breaking down. He's so upset, he doesn't know how to process this. Because at this point now, he's the last surviving Grimes member in the comic series. Laurie and Judith died at the prison, and now Rick. You gotta think, for over 150 issues now, it's just been Rick and Carl. He's the last of the Grimes. He lost Andrea, his surrogate mother, so he's truly alone now in a world gone mad. He's like, if he'd have stayed at Hilltop, he wouldn't have known. But then we cut to a few days later. Carl's like, what do you want? Michonne and Maggie are there to support him, obviously. Mercer's behind Pamela with loads of guards to keep her under control. She admits that it was Sebastian who did it, and Carl finally knows. Carl's like, where is he? I want to know. And Pamela says he's in custody. He's currently, obviously, Pamela was like, okay, this is the situation. Please don't take matters into your own hands. I know you're going through some emotions. She's very sorry, but please don't take it into your own hands by hence killing him, which I really want him to do. But Carl says, like, with a really stern eye look, will he be punished? Pamela just starts breaking into tears and says, he's my son. I love him with all my heart, but he'll spend the rest of his life in that cell for what he did. Carl's just, okay then. I've never seen Carl this stern. It's so scary. Like, even Pamela is shook. You can see on a panel right here, she's literally like, what the fuck? Carl goes, I'm sorry for what you're going through. Just leaves. But Michonne comes back and says, look, I'm sorry for what Sebastian did to you. I know this is hard on her, especially because obviously her son murdered a great leader. Because of what? Because obviously their family had been in control of the Commonwealth for so damn long, and Rick took it away. But Michonne says, but if you think somehow you're going to quietly take back in the position of governor because of what's happened, don't think twice. Don't even have to think once. It ain't going to fucking happen. Mercer knows, and the whole Commonwealth knows. If she tries to sneak back into power, there will be a full-on war. But I think this is probably the pages that I've been wanting to look forward to. Sebastian's in his cell. Carl just walks up to the door, and I really have to give my commiseration, my greatest thanks to Charlie Adlard for this page, or for this little panel. It's where you do the grey tones. It's just the bars and Carl, but you cannot see his eyes or eye, and that is probably why I love art so much, because it's just the demonizing anger that is in those black shades. And Sebastian sees him, he starts crying and says, you're the son, you're his son, I don't know what to say to you. And this, I will admit, is probably my favourite panel. That one up there, this one here, where it's just Carl and his eye. He's just, that evil look is something I'd like to do in a photograph one day. But then Sebastian gives his reasons. He's like, my mother ran the place, my dad died a long time ago, same with his sister, which we knew about. I think that was confirmed just before, while Rick and Pamela were talking. But until everything was bad until we got here. Once the Commonwealth was up and running, life had never been better. We had made the rules, we were on top. I did whatever I wanted. I thought I could do anything. When your dad fucked everything up, bad choice of words, if he went away, everything would go back to normal. I've never killed anyone before. I knew so many people have, how so many dangerous people out there, but I haven't. They always say taking a life is hard, but it wasn't. It was so easy. That makes him feel like a psychopath or a real bad sociopath. And Carl demands for him to shut up, and you can see the fear in Sebastian's eyes. And Carl's just like, you think I'm gonna feel sorry for you now? Everyone has been talking about you. No one likes you. No one ever liked you. You're not a good person. I can tell you're not sad about what you did. You're sad about what happened to you because of it. Your mother was worried I was going to take matters into my own hands, kill you for revenge. I like this better. I get to check on you, see your misery. You get to sit and remember the life you had. That's far better punishment than death. My dad taught me that. It's more civilized. Hence, Negan. So, everything Carl has learned, he learned from the end of All Out War, because in the last issue of All Out War, issue 126, Carl was ready to shoot Negan. And he was like, look, he has to die. But then obviously Rick taught him humility and more civilized manner. He learnt from his father. And then obviously the 2-year time jump happened. So obviously in that 2 years, Carl learnt to cling on to life and be more civilized. And Carl's like, it's what Rick would have wanted. He's like, all that aside, make no mistake. If you ever get out of this cell for any reason, I will find you, and before I put you back in this cell, I will hurt you. Sebastian gives him a dirty look. Carl's like, I'll be seeing you. Ta-ta. And that ta-ta is perfect, because that... I always felt like after A New Beginning, Carl was going to become the new Negan. And just that little ta-ta cements it, because ta-ta is what Negan said when he killed Glenn in issue 100, which is brilliant. We move on. Rick's in his coffin. Michonne and Carl are going to head back to Alexandria. Carl mentions that he is going to be buried next. Like some people of the Commonwealth wanted Rick to be buried at the Commonwealth, but Carl wants him buried next to Andrea, which is perfectly agreeable. I'm glad they did that, because Andrea and Rick have become, well, the best couple in the comic. Easy. But Michonne said she wants to go with him. You can use the company. But Carl says, Maggie goes, Carl, I know you wanted a head start, but there are some people who want to pay respects in Alexandria. We should take another hour to leave. Carl's like, who wants to come? And we get a massive double-page spread of about hundreds of people, including Pamela Milton, loads of Commonwealth guards, Commonwealth soldiers, and loads of Alexandrians, Hilltoppers, Kingdomers. You got to think Rick Grimes was the heart of this series. Jesus introduced him to the New World, but he connected all of the communities. Alexandria, Hilltop, Kingdom, the Sanctuary. Once the Sanctuary hear of Rick's death, they're all going to be devastated. Everyone's going to be devastated once they learn of Rick's death. And I feel like, obviously this is the end of Compendium 4, but I feel like before issue 200, or on issue 200, they're going to do the funeral of Rick Grimes, which I feel like I'd be perfectly happy with. Or maybe during like issue 197 or 198. That's okay. But then we get a nice 2 pages of characters who are sad to see Rick go. So we have Maggie, some other characters, Heath, more soldiers, Annie, Lance, Yumiko, Bernie, Princess, which I'm actually quite sad that they didn't have more scenes together, so like Rick and Princess, that would have been amazing. Some more Hilltoppers, you've got Laura, I don't know where she's been the entire time, Stephanie, Aaron, Dante, Elodie, Earl, Brienne, Sadiq, Magna, Pamela, Jesus, more Commonwealth soldiers, Mercer, Johnny, and you get a nice another double page spread of everyone just walking back to the communities. Carl falls to the floor. Michonne quickly rushes to his aid. asks if he's okay, and Carl just goes, he sacrificed so much to create a world where we can say goodbye. Andrea, she got to say goodbye to everyone, but he's just gone. What was it all for? Everything is better now, safer. The whole world is different because of him. We survived so much. Well, he survived so much. But now he dies? Oh, God. I can't go on without him. I can't do this. Not anymore. And that is the end of the issue. End of Compendium 4. End of Volume 32. End of the issue. Rick Grimes is dead. And I am devastated to see that the legend of Rick Grimes has now ended, but we know the legend of Rick Grimes will go on forever. And it's devastating to know that after 16 years we're saying goodbye to our main character, but the story goes on forever. But obviously the letter hacks, I had to look at the letter hacks before we finished, and knowing that Rick Grimes was going to die, it was devastating, and I don't know what to say. I mean, I am devastated that Rick is gone. I saw a few tweets this morning saying that they're going to stop reading the comic. I really suggest don't stop reading the comic, because Robert Kirkman has said many, many times over the series' run that Rick was obviously, yeah, he was the main character, he's the protagonist, but it was not just about one man. It was always the part 2 of a zombie movie. What do people do next now that it's still going? Because you obviously, when you watch a zombie movie, you get the end, that's it, end credits. You don't know what happens after. This is the zombie movie that keeps on going. And so much hype was built around this issue, and I have to believe that this arc, it had a slow start. I mean, issue 187 I did review, but then I skipped 188, sorry. And I think I skipped 189 as well, I'm not sure. But issue 190 kicked off this potential war between all the communities. Issue 191 diffused the tension, gave us a really brilliant issue with all the character development for Rick in his final swan song to the end, and it was brilliant. I have to admit that it was brilliant. But issue 192 concluded this arc perfectly. I know Pamela is going, I don't know what's going to be happening with the future of the Commonwealth. I mean, are we going to have a new leader? Are we going to not have a new leader? Well, I know we will, but it's going to be moving on soon. We have the future of Alexandria, who's going to be the leader now, but obviously I assume that role is now going to be going to Rick Grimes' son, Carl. It's going to be devastating to see what happens next. I mean, we've got issue 193 that's coming out on July 3rd. That, I feel, is going to be taken away from the current story, because it is titled The Farmhouse. It's going to be focusing on a different character. People say it's going to be Negan. I feel like it's going to be Negan in issue 193. I wonder how he's going to react. I wonder how he's going to react to Rick's death. That's going to be devastating. But I couldn't have asked for a better send-off issue, but I feel like Rick dying within the first couple of pages, I wish that someone had discovered him and then there was a massive panic, or maybe we got... this was an extended issue. This was 30 pages long than your standard 23 pages. I mean, an extra 7 pages, that's great, because it's a momentous issue. It's an extended issue. I mean, even last month's issue was extended. But so many questions, and also the issue 194 cover. People have asked me what they think of the cover. Personally, I think that the Sheriff Kapoor character is like... People say he's like the TV show version of Rick because of the Colt Python and the look. And he does look like now deceased Rick Grimes. I don't know what to say about that. Also, I hear this is the last issue done by Stefano Gaudiano. He has joined the series during the All Out War arc, and then stayed for up until this point. Unfortunately, he's now leaving. So thank you, Stefano Gaudiano, for your many contributions to the series. I hope I can only wish you the best in the future. But Charlie Adlard, you never cease to amaze me. I say this every month, but Charlie Adlard never ceases to amaze me with his art. He's perfect in every way. He does some brilliant art for the walkers, the characters, even the close-ups. They are just perfect. But unfortunately now, I don't really know where to go from here. This issue, again, has been a very special issue, because not only it's the end of Compendium 4, not only it's the end of Volume 32, this actually got a few variant covers, believe it or not. We got a blank sketch variant right here. Obviously, I hope to collect this from my local comic book store, and I actually would like Robert Kirkman to sign it, and Charlie Adlard, and hopefully Andrew Lincoln, because obviously it is the Rick Grimes issue. Andrew Lincoln is the TV show version of Rick Grimes, and I hope you'd like to sign it one day if I ever go to a convention and meet him, maybe even Norman Reedus as well, because some people say that this is going to be Norman Reedus' exit to the show, even though Norman Reedus has confirmed that he's going to be doing this until the show finishes, so I don't know. We will just have to see. And as well, as of recording this video, 2 hours before I started recording this video, I found on the Skybound website that they did a third variant cover. It's right here. It's a tribute to Rick Grimes. Issue 102 is such a giant issue, we are giving it a third variant cover. The second was a blank sketch. During the nature of this issue, we felt appropriate to dedicate the third one to Rick Grimes. The cover, officially called The Walking Dead Issue 192, Special Commemorative Edition, was designed by Walking Dead comic artist Charlie Adlard, and feels a somber black and white Rick Grimes set in front of a blood red background with his name in gold lettering, comic lifespan 2003 to 2019 in white. See it for yourself. It's right here on the screen. Obviously, as I've said this, fans will be able to pick up their own special copy on July 3rd, 2019. Retailers, the FOC is Monday, June 10th, and the diamond code is this. Trust us, you don't want to miss out. Check out here for the discussion. So, I think that's probably the best variant cover out of there. I mean, I wish they'd have done one for Andrea as well, but beggars can't be choosers. But I feel like, yeah, because Rick Grimes is the staple of this show, and that is a cover I would really love to own. This is all I really have to say for this issue right now. Unfortunately, we won't be getting another issue till next month, so rest in peace, Rick Grimes. You'll always be a sheriff deputy to me, and I salute you. So thank you guys for watching this video. If you did enjoy it, please leave a like and a comment in the comment section below. Leave what you thought about this issue in the in the comments section. I love to talk with you guys in the comments. Thank you guys for staying with me, and thank you, Robert Kirkman, for giving us a brilliant story in Rick Grimes. Thank you guys. I'll see you in the next one.